Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 17 of the Rocky Mountain Wrestling Local to Global. Today's episode, I wanted to explain something. I'm still playing 1.15. I downloaded 1.16, but it just doesn't seem to run for some reason. I have no idea why. Just will not run. I've been trying for like the last 15, 20 minutes to get it to run. I've downloaded it, a few different times, and it literally just won't open the application for me. The same way I've been opening TEW since I started playing the game, and yeah, no idea, not working for me. So yeah, re-downloaded 1.15, and we're just going to play with that today. Hopefully, there's no issues. We're going to get straight into the climb 11 here as well. We're going to use everybody once again. We're going to go to Wyoming. And we're going to get straight into it. So there's no pre-show incidents as well, which is good. And I think for this one, let's go a creative finish. We haven't used one of these bad boys for a little while. This one's for Roger Montero, so that's kind of perfect. And it's likely to succeed. Let's go likely for that. Again, just thank you for all the support. Obviously, I know there was a few days off there between episodes, and then obviously came back after about 3 or 4 days. So Warwick Good wants to work with us. Yeah, we're going to use him. American Patriot also got a creative finish there as well. Wonder how good that is. But he does run that pre-show training duel as well there for 4 workers. I'm going to go team bonding for this one. We've got a little bit of negative morale at the moment, but I think overall, and looking at that overall, it's literally strengthened every relationship. So no negatives there. And let's book our main event. So, what are we going to do for tonight's main event? Our current number 1 contender is Texas Hangman, but I want to run him for the next show, not for this one. So, we might just do... What's Winx's popularity? Oh, actually, he's still got ring rust, doesn't he? I believe he does. With that being the case, let me go like this. Let's go Coleman and Winx together. And they can take on the team of maybe Montero and Stallion. And we won't have that be the main event, but it probably could be the main event, to be honest. And let's have Winx get the win over Stallion. And then I want to obviously keep Montero strong. I know you guys seem to think that even though they're not in a tag team, Montero won't lose popularity. Based on a previous test that we've done, there is still a potential for them to lose popularity, even though they're not losing the pinfall. So that is why I will keep him strong. I did test it myself on a previous episode, and 100% you can lose popularity as a result of it. So we are going to run with that, at least turn on for this one, and we'll go a clean win. And then I think on the next show I want to have Winx versus Wild Red Stallion 1-on-1. I think that could be a pretty good match. Let's go Staff and let's chuck American Patriot on that one. Up to 70 psychology as well for Patriot. And then main event. What are we going to do for the main event? I think we'll go Hangman versus Silencer. Yeah, let's do that. He's still got 70 stamina, so he's not too shabby really. His popularity is up there, 17. So we'll chuck those two in. Hangman versus Silencer, a number 1 contender taking on the 41-year-old experienced Silencer, and of course we'll give Hangman the win. Make it nice and clean. We need a slow build in there as well. Only 66 stamina there. go back and track some progress. Yeah, he does appear to be potentially stuck at 66 stamina, so I think Hangman will be one that we criticize his fitness levels after a show. We might potentially. I want to save it for when he is actually gassed. I pretty much know how I can do it. If I give him a 12-minute match, stealing the show with the all-out road agent note on, it's on by default. So that'll be on not this show, but we'll do it in a future show. We should be able to do that and be able to criticize his fitness levels, his stamina. So let's go like that. Go another singles match. Let's go Jack Pride taking on Addison, I think. We're sort of starting the mini push here for Jack Pride. He's starting to get up to a relatively decent level. So we'll go like that, and then we'll go one more match. Singles match. We'll go Patriot taking on Jules Knight or War Peace. Or I could maybe do another tag match. Let's do another tag match to kick us off. We made, over 1,500 profit last month, so I think we can afford it. Let's go him. So let's go Jules. Jules Knight. He's got very warm momentum. Let's go Jerry Pepper Philanders, the old losing crew. And let's go with a Patriot win, I think. Yeah, preferably Philanders to lose. We'll work the crowd with that one as well. Get hopefully a little extra bonus on it. And then for angles, had some criticism about me typing in my segment names as my actual angles, and then obviously putting them in both. Don't really understand the dislike of that. It's literally how I've booked TEW since, well, definitely throughout the entire of 2020. I'm pretty sure I was even sort of booking that way back on 2016, prior to the quick angles before they were created. So I don't know. If you don't like the way I book angles, honestly, you don't have to watch. I'm not really fussed. There are other people out there in the community that you can watch. They might do it the way you like it. Yeah. Some things, I like suggestions, but when you're just criticizing the way I do things and you think that it's not the way to play the game, I just find that ridiculous. But anyway, let's move on. So, Hangman is going to cut a promo onto Texas Hangman, and he's going to cut a promo maybe with Roger Montero. We'll call this one, excuse me, let's go. Hangman says Montero's days are numbered as heavyweight champion. Simple and easy. Go the 4 minutes. As per usual, I will copy over my segment name into my segment output for the angle, because, like I said, that is literally how I book. And it will pretty much always be how I book, because it's the way I keep track of things. It's the way I enjoy things. Anyway, I know most of you guys probably don't care about it, but it was just one person commenting on multiple videos. I explained it to him, and then he kept posting the same thing, so I may as well address it. Second angle, let's go. I think we'll just go with Al Coleman and with Sandman Winks again. Yeah, again, maybe just another angle with them too. I guess maybe they can cut it onto Roger off screen. Maybe both of them. We'll put both Roger and Stallion in it. So Coleman and Winks laid down game plan for tag team match. And they're also going to discuss ways of getting Coleman into the title picture. We'll fix that up in a second. So, yeah, bang that over as well. Script that, angle, title picture. Literally the angle there. And we'll save that one as well. Got another 3 minutes that I could use. Maybe a pre-match attack. Let's take a look at that. So maybe saving the day. So let's have Primetime Jack Pride attacking Jason Patterson. And we'll have American Patriot run down and make the save. So Pride attacks Patterson pre-match. Patriot runs down and saves the day. Perfect. All right, I like that. Gives us 3 angles. I mean, it's going to lower the match time length on the show, but it's still 85%, so we're not going to be penalized. And then we'll chuck that before Jack Pride's match. So Sammy and Winks still being used too much, but everything else actually looks really good. So let's run the show. First show of the episode, let's get it done. Alrighty, so we started with a 44 rated tag team match where we have Patriot and Remy Sky defeating Jerry Pepper and Phil Anders in 12:29. When American Patriot submitted Phil Anders with a sleeper Americano, obviously working the crowd as well. And yeah, Remy was actually on his game. Didn't seem off his game this time, which I think the last 2 shows he's been off his game. So happy with that, and as you can see, it's sort of reflected in the overall match rating there as well. Phil Anders weak link. We're going to get rid of Phil once we make a few new signings, going up to tiny size. Probably next episode as well that will occur. But yeah, very good match to kick us off. We then move into a 30 rated angle where we have Jack Pride running down and attacking Jason Patterson pre-match before American Patriot runs out. Of course, he just finished his match, runs back out and makes the save for a fellow good guy, fellow face in Jason Patterson. So yeah, Patriot saving the day. We're essentially setting up a sort of mid-card feud between Patriot and between Jack Pride. Which they'll have a match on the next show as well. Just sort of little storylines that I want to throw in there just to build to the biggest show of the month with our normal ticket pricing. So yeah, happy with that. We advance into their match, getting a 35 rating. We have Primetime Jack Pride defeating Jason Patterson in 12:11 by pinfall with a pride fall. And yeah, just a relatively solid mid-card match. Probably a few penalties in there. Low morale for Patterson, but he's on this show, so I guess we'll praise him as well. And then poor momentum for Jack Pride again. We're giving him the win. We're trying to build that back up, so we'll get rid of that penalty. And we might even use a character idea on him as well. I think we do actually have one from last episode. So we might use that going into the next show. But yeah, 35, it's okay. It's not great. 2 really young workers and sort of, I guess, lower mid-carders still at this point, which reflects in the rating, but it is what it is, perfectly fine. And we move on. We move into a 35 rated angle this time, where we have the newly formed team of Al Coleman and Sam and Winks. Of course, Winks is his sort of bodyguard, protector, if you will. And basically, yeah, they lay down their game plan for tonight's match against Roger Montero and Wild Red Stallion. They essentially discuss ways of getting Coleman back into the RMW heavyweight title picture. That Montero is the current champion. He currently holds the belt. So, yeah, a little bit more foreshadowing here, and you'll see what I mean once we book the second show here of the episode. But Coleman and Winks, they're going to be a tag team for a little while. And yeah, Winks obviously still in the ring rust stage, but that will wear off very, very quickly. So their match does really well. We get a 49 rating out of this one. We've got Al Coleman and Sandman Winks defeating Roger Montero and Wild Red Stallion in 11:43 when Sandman Winks submitted Wild Red Stallion with a deep sleep. Obviously, Sandman Winks was rusty. But we also have Wild Red Stallion getting better at his gimmick. So that's a big positive there as well. Nice little bonus coming out of that match. Let's take a look at his gimmick, actually. Legendary gimmick now for Wild Red Stallion. That's very good. That's a solid bonus for the match. Yeah, so we still got Rusty, Coleman for condition, Montero for condition, and inexperience there for Stallion. So that's fine. All good stuff. 49 is a very good rating, but then again, we got a 59 in-ring for Coleman and a 57 there from Montero. So very solid all round. Even a 31 from Winks, and he's ring rusty. So I'm expecting that to shoot up quite a bit. You know, once he's gained a little bit of popularity, and once he's also gained, well, I guess gotten rid of the ring rust. All right, move into a 43 rated angle where we have Texas Hangman come out pre-match after Montero's finished his match, and he basically says his days are numbered as the RMW Heavyweight Champion. He says at the next event he is going to become the first ever two-time champion, two-time heavyweight champion, and he's going to take his title back, what he is calling his title. He was the previous champion, and he wants a belt back. He was a previous champion. I guess the most recent champion was actually Coleman himself. And again, there's more foreshadowing with that as well. So yeah, 43 leading into the main event. It's a very solid angle, actually, from both these guys. So happy with that. The main event, I'm probably predicting about a 51, I think. I think Hangman's probably good enough to be able to pull that off. But here we go. It's a 52, so 1 point above what I predicted. 52 rated main event there. We've got Texas Hangman defeating the Silencer in 20 minutes, 6 seconds by pinfall with a choke slam. It's a very good match. Very, very happy with the 52. Highest match on the card as well, which is always a positive. And it goes to show that Hangman, even without the heavyweight title, he's capable of putting on main event level matches. He is essentially just that good. He's above and beyond the most popular worker we have on the roster. And, if he had better star quality, I would essentially make him the figurehead of the company, even at this point. So we might look at maybe making him increase his size or do something along those lines of getting more ripped. Something to get him a little bit more star quality. Anyway, something to think about for the future. I might wait until we get our broadcasting deal with WrestleWorld before we start doing stuff like that. It's just a matter of time, I guess. Time will tell. Anyway, happy with that. Let's finish the show. Actually, let's have a look at the dirt sheet real quick. There's not much in there, to be honest. Inconsistency from Silencer and then declining physical ability because he's obviously 41 years old. So, good stuff. Good stuff from Silencer as well. Only a 30 in ring, but that's perfectly fine. Let's finish the show. We do gain our popularity in one region, so I'm expecting us to go up to 16 popularity in the Northwest. And we get a 48 rated show just above my head there. It's very good. It's pretty much the average at this point. I'm pretty comfortable getting between, I guess, a 45 and a 50. It's sort of our show range, I guess, at the moment. But yeah, very happy with that. Who do we praise, though? Let's praise, I think, did Remy did he have issues still? I can't remember. Can't remember if he had issues still. I'm gonna go with Remy and Jason Patterson for this one. I know for sure that Patterson has morale issues. I'm just not 100% sure if Remy still has them. Anyway, we lose 72 from that show, but it is our very cheap ticketed show, so we gain maximum popularity. Fingers crossed, we go up to 16. Yes, all right. We are 1 point, one singular point away from tiny size. That is massive. We're getting very close. We're getting very, very close. That's probably going to be what this episode's actually called. We're getting close. Oh, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to go to tiny size because we're gonna essentially from that first episode that we go tiny. I guess probably the episode after tiny size, we will be bringing in quite a few workers. Not too many. I think between 4 and 6, probably the range. Remy does still have morale issues, so I'm glad I did that. It's literally just those two. Perfect. But yeah, essentially we're going to bring in 6 guys, 4 to 6, probably 6 because I'll get carried away. And essentially, I may as well start processing here. We're going to get these new signings in as well over these coming days that we signed last episode. Very loud truck just drove past, so I apologise for not speaking. Yeah, so the couple of signings we made, they're more signings for the future. I got a comment suggesting that with those signings, we actually, once we have enough money, say Porkchop Patterson, for example, we use them as our dark show to build, to build these stats up because Lonnie Bowen here, incredibly good size, good everything. He needs work. He's only in his rookie year. He's an absolute powerhouse. Probably built like a brick wall, to be honest. Yeah, he needs some work, especially in the ring. So if we can use him maybe even multiple times, have him on the pre-show, and then have him on the actual show in a losing effort potentially, could do him some really good stuff. It could really elevate him, I guess, working 4 times a month instead of instead of just working twice, once on each show, and I guess sometimes potentially even missing out. Anyway, we do have Hitting the Peak 2, which is our next show. That's our big end of season finale. And it's gonna be a good show. I've already got the plans of the main event booked in my head, and it's going to lead to some interesting stuff for that main event. I'm really looking forward to the main event personally. Like I said, it's sort of going to be our first little bit of, I guess, proper storyline progression as we now go into the next signing, which is Lonnie Bowen. Do we bring Lonnie in as a heel or a face? Doesn't really say, does it? I did bring in... I brought in Porkchop Patterson here as a face. And he is actually better as a face. So I think we'll go Lonnie as a heel. And he can essentially take Philander's spot. So we'll do that. Because he can play both. He doesn't really have a preference for who he is. So we'll advance. We can. I might even just chuck them two in a dark show, in a pre-show match, a dark match, for Hitting the Peak 2. They can literally verse each other. I'll keep them both simple on the pre-show. It's probably going to get like a 15 or something pretty terrible. Another thing, the ring generals were actually suggested. I'm not 100% sure if they're available. It did just say there that Marv Statler was with Pride and Glory. Probably should check them out. But again, like I said, the signing episode will be the episode after we go to tiny size. So obviously, we've just hit 16 pop this episode. Next episode, we'll probably go up to tiny size. And then what's this? Episode, I guess, would it be 19? Trying to think. This is 17. 18 will be tiny size. Yeah. So episode 19 will probably be the signing episode where we sign the tag teams, sign the workers, and then literally put our tag teams together, and then create the tag team titles as well, which I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be really good. It's going to add a whole nother dimension to the company and to the series as well. So it'll be good. And we will bring in Desert Storm. He'll be one of our signings to link up with the Silencer. We did. I am very happy with your guys' comments. Again, love the comments. Keep them coming. But the comment suggested was, what was it? It was Silent Storm. Obviously, Silencer and half of Desert Storm put together. Works perfectly. As soon as I saw it, I think I had 7 likes on that one comment. I knew it was the name of the tag team that we were going to use, essentially. There are a couple of other good ones. I thought of one myself that I liked, but I thought that, Silent Storm sounded better. So we're going to go with that. That's going to be their tag team name. I will also look at their region that they're involved in. The last time I looked, they were unemployed and they were still living in Japan. Who else was that? It was, I know for sure it was Desert Storm, but I think there was another worker that I did check out as well. And he was also there. Trying to think of who it was. I think it was Hammer Hadley. I think it was Hammer Hadley. And he was also still living in Japan or based in Japan, while also being unemployed. So he wasn't on tour. Same thing there for Desert Storm. Neither of them were actually on tours, and they're based there. In order for them to agree to come and live in or be based in our region, we would need to sign them first and then essentially wait a couple of months before we were able to ask them. I don't think at the insignificant size you can actually convince them to come and be based out of your region. I think you literally have to be tiny size and above at a minimum. So something to think about. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is skip forward through the processing. You guys don't need to see it. I've had my good ramble for a little bit, just to give you guys, I guess, a bit more of a mindset to the future, and what to expect over the coming episodes as well. But yeah, let's advance through the processing here. I'm joining you guys back on the other side. Alrighty, so you joined me back a little bit prematurely, and that is because Blue Dragon has once again come forward with a pay rise request. So we had this last time. He wants 120, so he's requesting 60 pay rise. If we give him 75%, which is 45 increase, he will not have any morale issues. If we give him 50 like we did last time, he'll have the morale issues. Not that it's a massive deal, but honestly, at this point, we're making good money. I'm just going to give him the 75%. So it's an extra 45. I mean, realistically, that puts him up to 105 per appearance, which is massive, compared to a lot of the other workers on our roster. So, yeah, that's rough. That's not a great one. Once again, hired for another tour. So that is the reason why, essentially. Both him and Nathaniel Casino, getting signed to those deals. Anyway, we've only got 3 days here, so I'll quickly advance the 3 days. And we may as well stick with it, because it's only going to be 3 days. So, hitting the peak 2, our second year in the game of the local to global. It's going to be a good show. Like I said, I even want to chuck those guys on the pre-show, even though they're literally terrible. They're really, really bad. But that's fine. That's fine. I think looking at Porkchop Patterson, he's got incredible entertainment skills. So I could potentially, start using his skills or promos on the shows. Even if I just give him like 2 minutes per show, I feel like he might be able to gain a point of popularity each month just doing that type of stuff. But even potentially use him as like an interviewer, I was thinking, as we were processing through here. He's essentially a face, so I feel like Porkchop could be an interviewer for us. He's got the entertainment skills that would really, benefit someone like that as well. Porkchop's actually opened himself up to working in Mexico and Japan now as well, which is incredibly random, but there we go. And that's it. So hopefully we're ready for the show. We are. Is there anything I want to do before we get into it? I don't think there is, so let's just get straight into it. Hopefully no issues going into this one either. That'd be very beneficial. Everyone's going to be there again. I guess in a way it's them rocking up to work without actually being used. Let's go an angle idea for this one as well. This one's a near certainty. You guys did comment and say that was changed. I think, is it surefire hit? I think a surefire hit was changed to a near certainty because even though it said a surefire hit, there was still a slight percentage chance that it wouldn't work. So let's go like this for this one. Certainty. That's fine. We'll give that to our pre-main event angle as well. There we go. Pre-show training drills for 6 students. So I'm assuming it's our usual 4 guys plus Porkchop and Bowen. So good stuff there. They're all hopefully getting it. We've also got Bowen because remember he is irrepressible. So he's got that really positive personality there. He pulled a classic rib on Remy Sky and had everyone laughing. So good stuff. And we're going to address the locker room. This one, we're going to inspire, so everyone will get a bonus tonight. I want us to have the best possible show that we can have, essentially. I want to have, hitting the peak, potentially our best show we've ever run. That would be ideal. Anyway, let's book the main event. So, Hangman challenging Roger Montero for the RMW heavyweight title. Give this one 20 minutes. Heavyweight title on the line. We're going to have Al Coleman road agenting as well. Roger Montero is going to win. However, it is... I don't think I can have it be clean. I think it's got to be tainted. But this will make a little bit more sense in a second. Actually, I might get rid of tainted, actually. It's going to be outside interference finish onto Texas Hangman by Sandman Winks. And then during the match, we're also going to have Montero be attacked by Al Coleman as well. So that's going to end the match. So Montero is going to get the win. Realistically, it is tainted. Part of me wants to keep Hangman strong. Let me go back to the roster page here for a second. What is the popularity difference between them? We've got 38 there for Hangman, and then Montero is 37. So they're literally neck and neck. Do not need to keep him strong. It is face versus face, but that's perfectly fine. We're also going to chuck in the creative finish as well. Give it that little extra bonus. So likely, hopefully that does work and we're able to pull that off. And then pre-match, we're going to go like this. So 4 minutes, we're going to have a beatdown. We're going to have Coleman and Sandman Winks attacking Texas Hangman pre-match. So Coleman and Winks attempt to take out Hangman, pre-match. I guess believing Coleman would be added. Cool. Give that 4 minutes. It's going to be pretty good. Have him be the victim. That's perfect. Copy and paste that over. Script that as well. Lovely. And that'll be our angle idea. We'll chuck that one on there. Should do pretty well. And that's our main event sort of storyline. So yeah, I'll explain it in a little bit more detail once we run the show, but that is the general gist of it. All right, what else have we got? So Patriot taking on Jack Pride. That is the one we booked earlier. What I need to do before we do that is to go to Jack Pride and use our... Oh, that's for Jules Knight. Bit of a gamble. Let's deploy it. See what happens. It was a success for Jack Pride there. Now got warm momentum as well. Oh, excuse me, just had a sneeze. All right, so now that that's done, he's actually got warm momentum. Let's go Patriot taking on Jack Pride, and it is warm. So I don't know if that was a glitch or a bug or whatever that was the last time I did that. Either way, it doesn't matter too much, but there we go. That match is booked, and it is going to be Jack Pride with the win. It is going to be tainted though, so cheating to win. Good stuff. I might do a tag match in between that actually as well. So let's have Remy teaming up with... Who's a good face that we've got? Maybe a War Piece? Or I guess I could go Patterson. Because I've got to praise both of those two as well. Let's go those two. And they can take on Jules Knight and the Silencer. Yeah, that works. Yep, perfect. All right. I'll give Patterson the win onto Silencer for now. Again, Silencer, he's going to have a lot more to do once, we go up to tiny size. And once the tag titles are involved. So we'll go like that for that one. I'll put that below because Remy and Jules are very good. That should be a very good match in itself. And then our first match on the card is going to be a bit of a grudge match. So Sandman Winks taking on Wild Red Stallion. And we're going to give a little bit of revenge here for Stallion. He's going to get the clean win over Sandman Winks in this one, and we'll work the crowd with that as well. But that won't be the end of the match because I'm going to do another angle. And it's going to be a 2-minute beatdown. Actually, a 2-minute... Maybe do we go save the day again? You know what? Let's do it. Let's have Sandman attacking Wild Red Stallion. And then Roger will come out and make the save. So Winks attacks Stallion. Post-match. About to hit him with a steel chair. Montero makes the save. Perfect. All right. That's only 2 minutes. That's nice and short. We'll chuck that after their match as well. Montero's already been used as well, so it's perfect. And I like that. And then we can probably do one more angle with about 2 to 3 minutes, potentially. Could either give it to Jack, or we could give it to... Who in this one? I could maybe give it to Remy. Is Remy that good at talking? I don't really think he is. No, he's kind of average. He's got really good charisma, but doesn't really have a lot else going about him. Maybe a Chuck Patterson on there with his entertainment skills. It's not a bad shout, honestly. A 3-minute promo just with Pork Chop by himself. I'm gonna give it a crack. I think it could be good. Pork Chop Patterson makes his debut, cuts promo stating he is going to be running his own talk show here in Rocky Mountain Wrestling. So, yeah, he's gonna, like I said, he's gonna be an interviewer. So he's essentially gonna run his own show. No idea what it's going to be called. I would like it to be something that relates to maybe pork chops. Maybe we call it the butcher's counter or something like that. We were talking about the butcher recently in one of the last episodes as well from AEW. Yeah, Pork Chop Patterson. We'll chuck that down there. But he's going to cut his own little promo, and then I'm going to chuck that match between the two of them. So Lonnie Bowen taking on Pork Chop. And what I'll do on the pre-show, what's Lonnie's stamina looking like? 56, not bad. Pork Chop, he's got 66, so they're both relatively good. They should be able to actually put on a 12-minute match on the pre-show. So I'll make it clean. I'm going to keep them both simple as to not injure each other. Let me check safety, actually. So 44 for Lottie, that's not actually terrible. It's nearly at an acceptable level. And then a 39 there for Pork Chop. So they are going to need to be kept simple, even when they're brought onto the main or the main show, I guess. But yeah, that looks perfect. That'll be pre-show. Our first pre-show match of the series, I think. I'm not 100% on that, but I think it is. Anyway, let's run the show. Looks pretty damn good to me. Alrighty, so, okay. Okay, I am very, very glad that we did not put this on the actual main show. We get a 3 rated match. 3. It is like the lowest rating I think I've ever seen on TEW ever. Yeah. In a pre-show match, we've got Pork Chop Patterson defeating Lonnie Bowen in 11:56 by pinfall with a running bulldog. Patterson was really, Pork Chop, we'll call him Pork Chop, I guess, was really off his game. He also has ring rust, so yeah. He got a 4 in-ring performance. Bowen got a 3. Bowen's initial gimmick rating is awful, so that's terrible. And then working man gimmick there for Pork Chop is adequate, so that's not terrible. Bowen's gimmick gives a small boost of star quality, and his losses hurt his momentum more than usual. That's actually a bit of a frustrating one because he's going to be losing a lot. But I do like the star quality. And then Pork Chops is also pretty bad. His losses also hurt more than usual, his momentum. And it also gives a large penalty to his incredible charisma that he's got. He's got 88 charisma. And that's during matches and angles. So, honestly, I think I'm going to have to start changing the gimmicks pretty much from the get-go, really, over the next, few months. It's perfectly fine, but it is what it is. What have we got here? So obviously they both had to be kept simple. They both got poor psychology. Well, actually, no, they don't. So Bowen's got poor psychology. Pork Chop Patterson's got poor basics and poor selling. Bowen was penalised for stamina. They're both penalised for being inexperienced, and they're both penalised there for keeping everything simple. And then Pork Chop also for being rusty. And then Pork Chop for stamina as well. So there you go. Okay. That did not go as well as I thought it would at all. Even remotely. That is, like I said, the lowest rating I've ever seen. But it's fine. It's on the pre-show. Good stuff. Okay. Whew. All right, we kick off the main show with a 42 rated match, the grudge match to kick things off. We got Wild Red Stallion defeating Sandman Winks in 12:26 by pinfall with a Latoka cutter. And of course, this was our work the crowd match. And as you can see here, Sandman Winks is no longer ring rusty. So that is perfect. And it's on the biggest show of the year as well. Good job. Sandman doing some good stuff. Happy with that. Actually a really good match for these two. 42 rating. And, I mean, Stallion's got a little bit of popularity, but Sandman's got nothing. And he's actually outperformed Stallion there as well. He's got a 40 in-ring to Stallion's 37. So, very, very happy with that. And it goes to show how good these guys are going to be for our future as well. I can see Winks, sort of having a very similar run to the top that Hangman had in his early days. Expect to see something similar. I know he lost this match here, but like I said, we're going to continue this storyline, and then obviously there's going to be a little bit more of a higher level storyline for Winks as well. So we follow that up with a 35 rated angle, where we have Sandman Winks attacking Wild Red Stallion post-match. He's about to hit him, so he's already knocked him down to the ground. He's got the steel chair above his head. He's about to hit Stallion, straight on the head, proper concussion-type chair shot. And then, Roger Montero runs down the ramp and makes the save, pulls Stallion out of the ring, just as, Winks, slams the chair down, basically hits the canvas with it, and Stallion lives to fight another day as a result of his friendship and alliance there with Montero. So, again, this one, it's sort of playing into their storyline, being Winks and Stallion. Then it's also playing into the tag team formation of Stallion and Montero coming together to form their tag team, which they will eventually have a run with the tag team titles in the future. So, good stuff there. I feel like we're doing a little bit of good storytelling with the limited roster that we have at the moment. All right, we then go into a 44 rated match. Very good match for this one as well. We got Primetime Jack Pride pulling off a bit of an upset, defeating American Patriot in 11:41 by pinfall while using the ropes for leverage. So, Jackie Pride cheating to win, getting a big win over American Patriot, sort of the standout mid-carder that we have at the moment. Patriot with a 44 in-ring. Jack Pride with a 39, though. That's not bad. That's better than Wild Red Stallion at the moment, so we will take that. He raised his game for the season finale. So we got a double bonus there. We get the bonus for the season finale, and then we also get the bonus for the pre-show inspirational speech. Interesting. A little bit of inexperience and inconsistency there for Jackie, but that's perfectly fine. And a big, tainted victory for Jack Pride going into the fallout of hitting the peak. We then go into a 27 rated promo from Porkchop Patterson. He makes his debut. Of course, while he's cutting his promo, he states he's going to be starting his own, or he's going to be running his own pork show here. Maybe Porkchop's Butchery or something like that. I want it to be like butcher related. So the way I see it is they hang meat in the ring. There's big cuts of pork in the ring, something like that. Maybe a pig's hanging in the ring or something similar to that. Porkchop Patterson's maybe wearing like a butcher's apron. A bit of blood on it. There's probably some knives, carving knives and stuff like that hanging around. Some of those big hooks, butcher's hooks that they grab and spike the meat with to lift and move around. Stuff like that. That's all sort of in the ring. And Porkchop, he announces Porkchop's Butchery, which will be his new talk show here in Rocky Mountain Wrestling. 27 is not bad for a guy that has no popularity, but really good entertainment skills. So I'm happy with that. Probably the only way we're actually going to get him over, apart from losing matches. So happy with that. We then go into a 55. That's surprising. 55 rated match. Again, It's all the bonuses from the speech and the season finale, but that's unexpected. We got Remy Sky and Jason Patterson defeating Jules Knight and the Silencer in 11:37 when Jason pinned the Silencer with an Oklahoma Stampede. And yeah, just a really good match. That's a really, really good match. I'm actually think the main event could do a 65 plus, if I'm being honest. I think it's got some decent potential about it. 61 in ring there for Remy, a 55 from Jules Knight as well. Positive stuff. What penalties have we got? Pretty much nothing. Low morale, and yeah, I mean, even Remy Sky no longer has his morale issues, so it's literally low morale, condition, inconsistency for Remy, and then declining physical ability there for Silencer. So barely any negatives there at all. Anyway, we move on. Go into a 38 rated pre-show angle. And yeah, Coleman and Winks attempt to attack Hangman pre-match. And essentially, Hangman's down and out. Coleman gets on the mic and basically says, I'm implementing myself into the main event. Hangman sort of crawls over, grabs another mic and says, no, you're not. I'm not finished yet. And yeah, then Montero comes down. These two go to the back, being Coleman and Winks. And the match starts. Angle was a success, which is good. Boosted up a little bit. 38's not... It's not great, but it's, it is what it is. And it leads us into the main event pretty well. The main event, I think it could get a 65. I think it literally could be that good. I hope it's that good. Here we go. Main event for Hitting the Peak 2, our second ever sort of big show to end the season. It is a 65. Spot on. I love that. I am very, very good at predicting these ratings sometimes. 65 on the dot, as I expected. And we have Roger Montero defeating Texas Hangman in 1948 by pinfall with an eagle chop, following interference from Sandman Winks. So Sandman gets involved and literally costs Texas Hangman the heavyweight title. Essentially, it looks like Hangman is about to get the win. Montero's already been attacked. As you can see, during the match, Coleman also ran in and attacked Montero. So Montero was attacked by Coleman. Looked like Hangman was about to get the win. Just as you think Hangman's about to get the pinfall, Sandman Winks comes in, costs him the match. Montero didn't really know what was going on. Obviously, he thought, he'd been attacked, so maybe he thought Hangman was also attacked. But hits him with the eagle chop, and then bang, gets the 1, 2, 3. And yeah, Roger Montero defends his title, making defense number 3 of the Rocky Mountain Wrestling heavyweight title. I think that's a really good match. 65 rated as well. Creative finish was a success. The match finish there as well. Very happy with that. But a 65 in-ring from Texas Hangman and a 58, which is also really solid from Montero there as well. Don't forget, face versus face, so penalty there as well. Got a low heat penalty for the main event storyline, which is frustrating considering it should have been hotter than that. And then, yeah, physical condition and inconsistency for Montero. So, looking at that, honestly, there's no negatives for Hangman at all. So, yeah, that's really impressive. Really impressive. Anyway, let's finish the show. I'm expecting a 53 from this show. 56 for Hitting the Peak 2. That is insane. A 56. I think that's definitely our highest ever rated show. Once again, we use Winks way too much on the show. But yeah, 56. That might be our best ever. We'll take a look in a second. Let me praise. I'm going to praise Remy again, just in case, and then Jason Patterson as well. try and get rid of those morale issues. So Remy's happy, Jason's pleased. Financial report made $146 as a result of that show, so that's very positive. And it essentially means that it's gonna do big things for us in relation to our finances for this month. We probably spent a little bit extra because obviously we used. I mean, they're not very expensive. I think in total they're about $35 for the two of those new workers. So yeah, it's really not going to be too much money. Let me take a quick look here. Want to look at have a look at title prestige, and then we'll go into the match history as well. So 36 rated prestige. Looks like it has actually gone up as a result of that match there. So that's really cool. Really cool to see. I now need to see, so top 100s. That is actually our best ever match, best ever show rated show is what I'm trying to say. We beat the 56 for Reach for the Sky of this year as well. So that was also 56, slightly higher. It must be like a decimal point rating as opposed to the Reach for the Sky. But that is by far our best rated match ever. As you can see, the 63 was Al Coleman defeating Jules Knight on that show, that Reach for the Sky show. And I believe that was for the title as well. And that was also heel versus heel, which is interesting. And then Montero versus Hangman is face versus face. So both those matches could have actually done slightly better. You look at these matches though, Al Coleman, Al Coleman, Al Coleman, Al Coleman, Al Coleman. So you look at the top 10 and Coleman is in 8 out of 10 of those matches. That's incredible. But looking at it though as well, you've actually got Hangman in what, 1, 2, 3, 4? I guess, yeah, probably not as good as 8, but yeah, that's impressive. That 65 is really, really well booked. I'm very happy with that. Our best ever match so far, and a little bit of storyline as well coming out of this this hitting the peak. So yeah, I don't know. I thought it was really good. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to quickly skip forward here to the end of the month, and I'll join you guys back once we get there. Yeah, so not sure if anyone realised that, but I actually skipped to the next show. That's perfectly fine because realistically it sets us up nicely for next episode. What do we got here? So Sasquatch McGraw joining BCG, sorry. Patterson as well. Anything else? No, that's literally it. Patterson's he's gone from toned to muscular though, which is not too bad. He's probably going to actually, yeah, his basics are pretty incredible at this point. I should maybe push Patterson a little bit more. If I'm being he's actually, well, he's probably based in Japan at the moment because of the tour. Yeah, he's really good. I should really use him a lot more. A lot more. He's even got like really good brawling as well, which is interesting. But let me take a look. Track his progress. I'm going to have a look at his physical abilities. The stamina hasn't gone up or anything like that. Okay. And then go back up to performance. He has gained 8 points in sex appeal. And then he's also gained 8 points in star quality as well. From going from toned to muscular. So that's massive. That's probably why he looks a little bit better to me now. The 66 into the 74 star quality. He could be a decent player for us in the upper mid card. 100%. And I've sort of been jobbing him out quite a bit. Anyway, enough about that. Let's finish the episode. So we made $1,591. So it's slightly above. But you got to remember as well, from last episode to this episode, we didn't actually gain any popularity. The only point we gained was in the month of October. So that's only gone up slightly. As you can see, ticket sales, you got an extra, what, 130 there maybe? And then sponsors is only $40. So we really made an extra 40. And then you look at the workers' cost, $1,085 as opposed to the sort of consistent $950 that we were sort of spending. So it's up 100. So We could have even had an extra $100 on top of that and been closer to maybe $1,700 profit for the month. But that's perfectly fine. It's even more than we made last episode. And we finally have that 16 popularity. So yeah, literally next episode, we will be tiny size without a doubt. I'm very, very excited for it. I know you guys are excited as well. Drop a like on this video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel as well. Turn on that bell if you want to keep up to date with the episodes being notified. And apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy and goodbye.